Hi everyone, welcome to our virtual craft of the week at the Oak Brook Public Library. I'm Miss Theresa, and this week's craft is this very cool sock snowman. I'm anxious to show you how to make it. Here we go. Okay, so this is what you're going to get if you come curbside and pick up your craft. Remember, we won't reserve them. They are first come, first serve. As soon as they're gone, oh well. So if you snooze, you lose. You can't do it if you don't get here and get it. Supplies are limited, people. All right, here we go. When you get your bag, you're gonna get this jumbo bag of rice. We are not cooking. This will be our filler. So we have that, and then you're gonna get this little baggie of things. Of course, it's a sock snowman, so we have our white sock, a few different pipe cleaners you're gonna have here. You're gonna have 2 brown, 1 orange, a long piece of felt, that will be our scarf. And then you got this cute little baby sock. I thought these were so cool. Little green baby sock, that'll be our hat. Little tassel for the hat. Of course, then you get some fun things like some buttons, Google Eye, and a little piece of felt. Now that you can cut into, that you'll see later, that could be your little pieces of coal for the mouth. And rubber bands. Okay, so that is what you're going to get with your kit. And the first thing you're going to do is make the snowman portion. So I'm going to move all this to the side for a moment, and we're going to just look at just our sock and our rice. Other materials you will be using, not too much of, but you'll need is a little bit of white glue. If you have a hot glue gun, that would be awesome. That makes it a little easier and quicker to do. Let's put it this way, you might need a little patience holding some things if you use the white glue. Other than that, what I also did was, pouring this rice can be a messy task. I made a little cone out of a piece of paper. You could probably do a much better job than I did. So I just taped it and kind of make sure the hole's big enough for the rice to come through. What I did is I took my sock and I placed that cone in there. And then if you have like a cup or like a nice big spoon, probably a cup would be better. I have a little measuring, like a 1 cup measuring cup. Now, let me tell you, this could be a family project. If someone wants to hold the cone with the sock, makes it a little easier. I'm doing this on my own, so it might get a little messy, everybody. Just be prepared, you might have to sweep the floor. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pour that in and you kind of shake it down. I'm already knocking rice around here. So, okay, here we go. Pour more in, shake it down. Pour some more in, shake it down. Ooh, kind of splashing it around. Okay, now I'm going to pour it in. Now, this is where 2 hands could be helpful, but if you're like me, it's just me. Okay, now if you want a little bit of a smaller snowman, you don't have to use all the rice, but I'm going to go for it here. I'm going to fill it all up. Kind of have to shake it in there. Oop, shaking it out of the top. Kind of lump it down. You kind of see how the body of a snowman kind of forms a little bit on its own, if you notice. Oh, ooh, I gotta get it down. See, even people like me make messes, people. All right, here we go. So I'm going to kind of shake it down. Now, you're going to have a little bit left on the top. Now, this is where your rubber bands come in. I gave you 3 rubber bands with the kit. Take 1, and if you're a little younger, you need some adult help with this, I took it and I put it around, wrap it around. Just make sure you don't want to end up with rice falling out of it after the fact. It's one thing when you're making it, but you don't want to end up with rice all over. So I kind of just shake it a little. Depends on how big do you want the bottom of your snowman. So you kind of want it to sit flat. Then I'm going to kind of go like that and kind of form the head. So we've got our body parts, and I'm going to take a rubber band, just kind of double loop it. I'm going to put it over to form our base. Kind of push it down. I'm going to get my head back here. I do the same thing and form my head with my rubber band. Kind of shake it around, and you kind of push it down so you don't really see those rubber bands when you do that. Okay? All right, there we go. And you can kind of shape it, kind of play around with it. Some people like to just have a head and a big body. If that's what you want your snowman to look like, that's perfectly fine. It's your project. Now, the next thing we're going to do is, you've got this big part on the top. Now, if you want to go ahead and clip that off, you can. You can clip it real close. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to save this sock for one of you, so I don't want to ruin it. But anyway, you can do that and get rid of that. I'm going to leave it there for now, but keep that in mind. You can cut that off. The next thing I want to kind of have you make are the arms. Now, if you saw in my sample, we've got our arms. What I did, you have your 2 pipe cleaners that came with your kit. The one, you're going to kind of just wrap around the back of the head a little bit, tuck it under. And this is where you would probably want to put a little bit of glue on it to make sure it stays in place. You're also going to put the scarf around it too, so that'll kind of hold it, and kind of wrap it around just so they're going to come out like the arms. And even like before you do that, you may want to put the little hands on. See, I put little hands on. And that's why I gave you an extra pipe cleaner. You can clip parts off of this. And what I did was I took 2 pieces, about like that, maybe about 2 inches each. And what I did was I took this and I just wrapped it around. Wrapped it around a few times so it would stay. And there it is. There's his one hand. Then on this one, I wrapped it around just like that, and later on you can form it, like you can have him saying hi, or you can clip it shorter. Maybe you want his arm shorter. That's all up to you. It's your project. The next thing you may want to do is figure out your scarf. So once again, I'm going to wrap the scarf. You're going to wrap it over those arms. It's going to keep those arms in place too. And you're going to kind of wrap it around the way you'd like. I'm going to pull it forward like that and kind of tuck it so it's kind of a little bit under the head portion, kind of giving them more of a neck. There we go. I would put a little dab of glue right there. Push this back. Now if you notice on this one, you can trim this as much as you want. You can make the scarf much shorter. If you notice on mine, I trimmed the ends and made a little fringe. You can do that on yours. So I'm going to just show you that. And the next portion of the program is you're going to take that cute little baby sock. You want to do this before the face because you want to make sure you're not covering too much of your face. You don't want to put your face on and then end up with the hat covering your eyes and everything. So once again, like I said, you could cut this part off and then you're going to stretch your sock so at least it's on the head. What I would do is I'd use a little glue. When you know where you're going to have it and want it in place, I'd go around and I'd put a little glue under the edges to keep it there. Kind of hold it in place because this will tend to kind of slip off if you don't do that. You can kind of see my little lump there. So then you're going to kind of stretch it. I kind of folded mine to a point and then kind of put it down like that. And then I put glue to start like there. And you have to be patient. Unless you're using the hot glue gun, then you can put the little ball of the hat on the end. And once again, if you're using white glue, you'll want to hold that for a little bit. If you have a hot glue gun, makes it a lot quicker. Then after that, it's really all up to you. You can put on your Google eyes, and I gave you a little piece of black felt, and you can cut that into little squares like I did here, and you can make that into like a little coal mouth. And the hardest part to do with just the white glue is the nose. I gave you a little piece of orange pipe cleaner. What I did with this was I folded it and twisted it around like twice to make that little nose. And with that, you know, it has a little bit of a wire sticking out, so you could kind of stick it in there, put a little glue on there, and with the rice it does kind of stay, but you have to be patient. That might come out easy with just the white glue. If you have hot glue, that's awesome. You could try it with the white glue. It might be a little trickier to keep that on. You could also use one of the little pieces of coal for the nose too, if you'd like. So this is pretty much it. You can add those cool adhesive buttons I was telling you about. Now everyone's going to get a little bit of different coloring with their kit. Some have different colored scarves and hats. But you will have these buttons to put on, and maybe you don't want Google eyes. Maybe you want to put the coal for eyes. So that's all up to you. So everything in your kit, and maybe you have things around the house you may want to add to your snowman, but make it your own. I'd love to see what you come up with. Well, it's the end of our program. Thanks so much for coming to our virtual program. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you'd like to show us your finished product, comment on social media. We'd love to see what you come up with. Take care. Bye-bye.